Ryan, you're a Reading guy. How did it feel to be back here and working with these kids?
It's amazing. So there's a lot of confusion going around. Like, wait, it's virtual. Like, what are you doing in Reading? And that's really the beauty of being able to do these virtual assemblies. Obviously, I have my green screen back set up here. So I actually came to 16th and Hawk to do the virtual assembly, and none of the students knew that I was on campus. So that's where I just came from, just bopping around classroom to classroom and just pouring my love into those kids, and I really felt them pouring their love back into me. So you can't really describe it. It feels perfect.
For people who aren't familiar with Give and Grow, can you just talk a little bit about what you guys are doing? Because it's a lot more than just basketball skills.
Absolutely. So Give and Grow, we elevate the mental, emotional, and physical health of kids through basketball. So we do that by combining the fundamentals of basketball with the fundamentals of mental health and emotional intelligence. We really, as Coach Ben and myself, the founder and myself, we are two basketball guys, right? So we knew that if we shared mental health skills in a lecture format, we'd probably get we get tomatoes thrown at us, right? So we understood that early on, and so we love to incorporate basketball because it gets the kids excited. It gets them, we meet them where they're inspired. And we hear from kids all the time, oh, we got a basketball clinic or we got a basketball assembly, and that's exactly where we want you kids. We want you to think that it's just basketball, because once we get you in and roped in, that's when the mental and emotional curriculum comes into play.
What was it like to work with Lonnie Walker?
I mean, it's funny, man, because this is actually the second time we've worked together. Every year I do generally I do a toy drive or a charitable event in Reading around the holiday time. And I was really down on myself this year because I couldn't really bring it to fruition in person. And so I felt bad about it, and I'm like, well, what can we do? Like, what can we do to really make me feel more at peace for kind of dropping the ball, for lack of better words, but also to send a ripple effect through the city. And Lonnie had done a recorded video for us before he was an NBA player. And this time we got to upgrade and have him on live in Zoom with us. So he's always, his heart is unbelievable. He really cares for this city. And him just taking the time on the West Coast to be here with all these kids, that just tells you all you need to know about Lonnie Walker.
If you had to guard him, how would that go?
If I had to guard Lonnie, oh man. First off, first thing I'd opt not to. Okay, the first thing I'd be like, somebody else do it. Man, I guess I would rather him shoot threes than take off like Skywalker on my head. So if I had to answer that, Paul, I would just prefer not to guard Lonnie. But not saying he can't shoot, but don't dunk on me.
You
right?
don't want to be in a poster.
Exactly.
Right.
I don't want to be put on a poster. Lonnie, go ahead, man. You can get the 3 points. Take them.
When you see the kids laughing and smiling and jumping around and participating, how does that make you feel?
I mean, practicing what we preach, right, with Give and Grow is sharing our emotions, sharing with the kids what we're feeling, right? I have something I share with the kids, like I call it Coach Mac's goosebump moment of the day, right? And when I see the kids moving, doing the movements that I'm doing, or breathing with Coach Ben, or eyes on the screen when Lonnie's talking, like, those are my goosebumps, right? That's just the reminder of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and that we're doing it the right way. How we're doing it is the right way. So that's like, the human connection in person is amazing. But the virtual, to be able to see 4,000 kids doing Give and Grow movements, learning Give and Grow curriculum, like, it's indescribable. And it's I want to say that this is our peak, but we have so much more in store, and I hope that we can multiply in Reading, we can multiply in San Antonio and LA and wherever Lonnie is and wants to make an impact, because this was such a beautiful and perfect event.
Now, we mentioned you're from this area. Are you a 76ers fan?
I am. I from the Allen Iverson days. I'm as a new dad, and basketball is very much my life. So I can't watch as many NBA games. Most of the games watch me these days. So, and I am in Baltimore, so I can only watch the Sixers when they're on, playing the Wizards or on mainstream. But go Sixers. Embiid is one of the most somehow underappreciated players I've ever seen. And, I think that this could be the year they make a run, man. I think it's all clicking at if it clicks at the right time and they're healthy, why not?
Last thing, what are some of your fond memories from your Holy Name days?
Well, it's funny, I got a text from him during the event. When people ask me, like, what led me to where I am right now, Coach Balistrere, Coach Tony Balistrere, I always tell him, people, he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And he always saw it. And he always tried to bring it out of me, whether I wanted to follow his words or listen to it or not. But I got into basketball training because of Coach Tony Balistrere. It was a kid that he couldn't teach. He didn't have the time or capacity to. He said, I got a local guy. Let me connect you to Ryan. And literally from that moment, Paul, it's been basketball training, give and grow, skill development ever since. And for the man that he is, the man that he was for me, how fundamental and of a textbook basketball coach he was. I have so much love, gratitude, and really just, I have to, I got to thank Coach B, man. You already know I love you, man. Thank you.
One last thing. You texted me a picture of a cassette tape of me broadcasting one of your games. Now, this is what I want to know. Can you find a cassette player anywhere to actually play that these days?
Paul, so I found your tapes. I wanted to go down memory lane. I had to search Facebook Marketplace for a cassette player. They said I had to drive 45 miles to go get it. I didn't listen to them yet, but Paul, this is a full circle moment. I was reflecting and looking back on my high school days. I actually found those tapes. I remember it was Conrad Weiser. You were calling the game. That was actually, at that point, was my career high night. So you were there for that. And, it was, just the fact that we're here standing across from each other, man, and it's not me as a player, it's me as something more, speechless, man. Yeah. So I didn't get to listen to the tapes, but I can hear him in my head. I can definitely hear him. And Paul, I just want to give you your love and your flowers too. Just to be standing behind the camera, continuing to do what you've been doing all these years is a true testament to your attention to detail, your passion for what you do as well.
Appreciate it very much. Thanks for your time and best of luck.
Absolutely. Let's grow.